Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people. Wherever you're joining us from, we're so glad you're here. We are an NPO, and we talk about manufacturing opportunities in Africa with the aim of promoting manufacturing, because manufacturing creates wealth, manufacturing creates jobs, and we need jobs in Africa. But Africa is big, so we cannot talk about manufacturing in Africa. We rather talk about manufacturing in Africa country by country. Today we're talking about small manufacturing opportunities in South Sudan. South Sudan is a country just below Sudan, and we know how it came about because of the long protracted war, and eventually they got their independence. It forms part of the East African bloc. South Sudan has a population of about 12 million people, and 80% of the people of the workforce is employed in agriculture, and agriculture also contributes about 1/3 towards the GDP of the country. I think immediately when such a large number of people are employed in agriculture, and agriculture plays such a huge importance in the GDP of the country, you immediately know that the economy is not very well diversified. And because we are talking about opportunities, that also to us talks about many opportunities in agro processing and in manufacturing in South Sudan. And luckily, South Sudan, it is not very developed, but the reports, some of the articles we read, they say that compared to the region, other countries in the region, it has a somewhat developed infrastructure, and particularly the telecommunication sector is said to be well equipped. So in agriculture, they produce maize and sorghum and wheat. They also export maize and wheat and sorghum. Wheat is mainly for local consumption, but they also produce cotton and export cotton and peanuts and beans. That also, looking at it as it is, it talks of a whole lot of value chain manufacturing opportunities that exist. Instead of exporting cotton as it is, it would be better to add value to that cotton, to spin it within the country, make thread and make cloth, make fabric. And from fabric also comes other opportunities of printing patterns on dyeing the fabric and printing patterns, and also making garments for women, children, men, either for local consumption or some of it can be exported. So it talks of a lot. Looking at the way things are happening, you as an entrepreneur, you can pick up a whole lot of opportunities in there. The same thing with peanuts. There's a lot you can do with peanuts. Instead of just exporting them as they are, you can make snacks, peanut snacks and peanut sauce. Peanut sauce is used a lot in Africa for cooking. Make peanut sauce, make peanut butter and export peanut butter. Add value to it instead of just exporting it as it is. Same thing with beans. You can cook them and can them, and so that speaks of canning opportunities, canning fruit and vegetables and beans and other foodstuffs for local consumption, for to use later on, but also for export market. Also, while we're still with agriculture, they are exporting sheep, mutton meat to Egypt and Saudi Arabia. That speaks of opportunities in abattoirs, slaughtering them, after slaughtering them, cutting them up into pieces for exportation, or for exportation. And also that speaks of, to export them, you need cold storage and transportation. Those are other opportunities that can come from there. But also, since you are slaughtering, you are remaining with skin, hide, that can be tanned and then made into leather that can make shoes, belts, bags, and other garments. And also, South Sudan has quite a big head of livestock. They are not the largest. The largest, I think, is Ethiopia with 70 million cattle. But South Sudan has its fair share of about 13.8 million cattle. That is a lot. That too speaks of a whole lot of value chain. They can export some of that and make a good income from that. They can join other countries like Botswana. They have far more cattle than Botswana, but Botswana is exporting their cattle to the UK. Now, I'm not saying that they should take the market from Botswana, but they can export to the EU, because in the EU, meat that contains steroids from other parts like USA and other parts, that meat is not wanted, it's not permitted on the EU because of the steroids. But theirs is natural, it's got no steroids. They can find a market in the EU, and the EU is quite a big market where they can then export their cattle, and that speaks of abattoirs where they can slaughter them, cut them into smaller meat pieces, packaging them, cold storage, exporting them, and they can make good money. There's a whole list of value chain that they can that can develop, whole industries that can develop from that. The same thing also with the hides and skins. They can process them further, turn them into leather, and they can export that leather or make bags, shoes, and export bags and shoes to other parts of the world. That is so much that they can do, add value to their agricultural produce. Also, South Sudan is quite hot. Throughout the year, the temperatures range in the 30s. So there is a good scope to make cold drinks and juices because it's always hot there. There's a market, cold beverages market, that can develop, make drinks for the people because it's always hot. But believe me, the report says that even though it is hot, coffee shops are also growing. They are growing in popularity. In fact, coffee shops are said to be the third place where people spend a lot of their time. It's either they spend a lot of their time at home or at work, and the third place where they spend quite a bit of their time is the coffee shops. So coffee shops, you can import coffee beans from Kenya and other places in Africa, roast them, make coffee, have coffee shops, open a coffee shop. But of course, a coffee shop also goes with the confectionery, because you don't just drink coffee all by itself. You make confectionaries, cakes, biscuits, also light meals. Coffee shop is another area. I know it's not necessarily manufacturing, but it is another area, an opportunity that exists. Because the thing with manufacturing is, although we are stressing manufacturing, and manufacturing creates jobs, when there are manufacturing is always a catalyst for the development of other sectors of the economy like retail and services. Because whatever you produce, you want it to get to the hands of the end consumer. So that speaks of opportunities in retailing. And as more and more people get employed in manufacturing firms, and they have a livelihood, they have a monthly salary, they also have needs in other areas other than just manufacturing. So that gives rise to other sectors of the economy, hence the coffee shops and stuff like that. So coffee shop is another area. Also, there are opportunities in detergents. You can make detergents for washing clothes, and it's with detergents. It's also, there's related the cosmetics, which is another wide industry, because the cosmetics is not just the ladies' lipstick and makeup. It is also the moisturizers for the face, the body, lotions, underarm deodorants, perfumes, and cologne for men. Also making soap and dishwashers, dishwashing liquid, and also detergent also for washing clothes. So it's a whole industry of cosmetics and detergents that exist. Opportunities exist there. Like we've said when we started, that 80% of the workforce is employed in agriculture. So it shows that there's a vast opportunity for manufacturing in other sectors. And even agriculture, the farming methods need to be developed. So there's a wide scope of selling agricultural implements for planting, for harvesting, and the tractors also improving the farming methods. And reports say that if we can, excuse me, if we can improve our farming methods in Africa, farming has got a potential over the years to employ and to lift 110 million people out of extreme poverty. We need to improve the way we are doing agriculture to improve productivity and output. Also, other opportunities is computer manufacturing. We may not have the skills yet to manufacture, but for a start we can assemble them, where you can buy parts from China. And not only this does not only relate to computers. This can be in the area of computers, TVs, laptops, and fridges, where for a start we can import the parts and learn to assemble them. First, learn the skill, the technical skill, how to do it and what parts are needed and where to find them. And then import them and assemble them. And that is going to create jobs for a number of people, and for every person that is employed, to them and their dependents, it makes a whole lot of difference, because there is a monthly salary, monthly livelihood, and life gets better. So that's another area. And with that also then comes opportunities where one can open training centers where you train and upskill people in their computer skills to be more employable. And also, South Sudan, the education system is not very well developed, in the sense that not many children of school going age are going to school. Less than 60% of them are going to school. So it means that the literacy rate is quite low. So education, both for adults and young people, but I would say for adults mainly, because as you educate them, you give them skills to be employable. And the economy grows when people are skilled, they have a skill, and they can read, they can write, and it gives them a certain level of confidence. And that is another area where you can train adults and give them basic education and training, where they can learn formal education and education that is related to work, and also computer skills, where you can give them that. And also fitness center, they say the fitness center industry, it is growing. We're reading reports, they're saying that. And the fitness center business, it is like the ladies makeup business. They say it is recession proof, and so it is with the fitness center, that even if things go bad, people will still, when they believe in the value of their fitness and their health, they will still prioritize it even in hard times. So another area is to open the fitness center where people can come, register, pay a monthly fee, and come to the gym. And telecommunication also, we live in the digital area. Living in the digital era, it means that more and more people are buying phones. You can assemble them just like you can do with the TVs and fridges and laptops. You can assemble them, but also with that now comes the need for airtime, for data, and also providing internet, access to the internet, and also fiber optics and satellites. That is another area of opportunity. Also another area of opportunity that they say is growing, it is the CCTV cameras and installation. The same thing here. Instead of buying a complete CCTV, I would say If you're interested, learn the technical skill, how it is assembled, how to assemble it. Buy the parts, assemble them, and sell to sell to somebody else. There's a whole value chain. One can assemble and make them and sell to somebody who will then make a business of installing them to the homes that need them. But when there's a need for CCTV, it also tells you that burglary is a problem. So there's an opportunity in making burglar doors. There's opportunity for those in construction, opportunity in creating gated community where there is a boundary wall around excuse me, perhaps with a electric fence on top and cameras, and there's a gate and people that are guarding the gate. Also, the growing need for CCTV also could signal the need for private security companies that can guard homes and compounds, because once there is a need for CCTV and it is growing, it is not just a nice to have thing. It means that there's something that is happening. So private security companies could also, I know it's not necessarily manufacturing, but we're talking opportunities that can create jobs. Is another area that people can look into. And also transportation, I think we touched a bit on this when we talk about sheep and cattle, that there's a need. But also as you produce other goods like cosmetics, soap, peanut butter, milling and all that, those need to be transported from the factory where they're produced to where the people can buy them. So that gives rise to, as manufacturing improves, logistics and packaging and transportations also, they become opportunities. It's always a value chain. Yeah, they become other or potential opportunities that can exist, that people can go into and create jobs for themselves and other people, and also of course make a bit of money from that. And having talked about agriculture, we go into agriculture a little bit here, that there is a production of maize and sorghum, also this and therefore local consumption, and also wheat for local consumption. This speaks of milling opportunities where you can mill maize into maize meal, sorghum into maize into sorghum meal. I know it can be used from the part of the world where I come from. In South Africa, maize, a sorghum meal, we use it for breakfast in the morning. But there's also sorghum bread. It's not very popular, but I've seen and I've tasted it and it's quite nice. There's sorghum bread. And also with wheat, know that wheat also needs to be milled into flour so that we can make bread and all that. So there are milling opportunities also in South Sudan, where you can mill these agricultural products. And also when people more and more people start going into manufacturing, they need marketing services, somebody to help them with marketing their products, marketing companies, digital marketing, web design course, to be known and to communicate with potential end users of their products. They're going to need websites. So web development, digital marketing, and online marketing services are other potential opportunities. And also, not many people at the moment have access to electricity. So that speaks of opportunities in solar panels, making solar panels of different sizes, so that you can have some that just provide lighting, but as people buy computers and phones, they need to charge them. As they buy TV sets and fridges, they need to charge them. So you can make solar panels of different sizes, smaller ones for just giving light, and maybe more of those or bigger ones where the people can have plugs and can charge whatever they need to charge. Solar panels is one area one area of opportunity that exists. Also, South Sudan has quite large reserves of oil and gas. But these, for exploration, they take a lot of money. We are speaking here of something that is easy to get into, small and medium opportunities. Those are large explorations that need big companies, need a lot of money. But you can get involved on the distribution and retail side, particularly of gas, since a lot of people do not have access to electricity. It means that either they use wood or coal for making for cooking, or gas. And you can also make briquettes, make charcoal for those that cannot afford, electricity, cannot afford gas. You can make briquettes for them. That is another opportunity that exists of making charcoal in South Sudan. And then there's also construction. With construction, that is bricks, making bricks and cement, and flooring materials and everything that goes with that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, construction, everything that goes with construction. And of course, after construction, building buildings. That also speaks of door frames, window frames, burglar proofing, and glasses, because after building it you need glasses, and the making of glasses for the windows. Really sorry about this. Yeah, basically that's it. That's what we could come up with. I'm sorry about that bad coughing at the end. Basically that is what we could come up with. And the nice thing is, since manufacturing activity seems to be so low, you are one of the new entrants. The earlier you get into the market, the better, because you solidify your brand name, particularly if you do things wrong. If you do things wrong, you give good quality, people trust your product. You solidify your brand name in the minds of the people, and you become the trusted brand, so that even when new entrants come, you have a group of people, a market section of the market that is loyal to you. These are what we could come up with, and it's very, very important, because we are promoting manufacturing, promoting diversifying our economies, promoting manufacturing with the aim of creating jobs for ourselves. And when people have jobs, they and their dependents have a monthly livelihood, and it reduces poverty, and it reduces migration. Too many of our young children have died in the Mediterranean Ocean, trying to escape unemployment in Africa, trying to escape to other parts of the country, of the world, where things are industrialized. We can industrialize our Africa the same way the first world has industrialized their own economies. It's up to us. We have put too much expectation and emphasis on the government. I'm not saying they are not important. They provide the infrastructure, but it's a partnership. You are a worthy and able and capable agent of transformation where you are. Please consider these opportunities very, very seriously. Go into them. Take one of them and go into business and create jobs. The more of us do this, if just 1 million people take up these opportunities in these various sectors and industries we've mentioned, and they employ 4 million people. 4 million people will be employed. 4 million people employed, and they take care of other 4 million people, 12 million people. We can end poverty in Africa. Let us stop looking to the West to come and do things for us. They are not going to come and do things for us. We are exactly where they want us to be, and only us in Africa, Africans in Africa, only us can change the status quo. Only us can change things from what they are to where we want them to be. Let us take up these opportunities. That is the reason why we explore, we do research and explore these opportunities and bring them to you free of charge, so that we can take them up, create employment, and develop our economies and end poverty in Africa. With that, my wonderful African people, bye-bye.